to another edition of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I want to say thank you to everybody that supported the brand and has chosen and has been part of it. I'm very, very grateful. Today, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack. I mean, there's something about Chelsea's next level transfer strategy, and I think that there's a need for people to talk about it. It is next level. I mean, I'm thinking that if Todd Bowley was at Chelsea 4 years ago, maybe the likes of Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Junior, and then someone like Erling Brot Haaland, and maybe Kylian Mbappe probably will be playing for Chelsea now. It's in the light of this that you see the kind of players that Chelsea have signed and are beginning to sign. In fact, the next ones we are going to discuss in this analysis makes it apparent how Chelsea want to go. Now, you look at certain players who have been signed for Chelsea Football Club. I mean, you can make mention of some names like Kendrick Paye for the Ecuadorian national team. He's 17, starts for the Ecuadorian national team. Apparently now in South America, he's seen as the best midfield player, the best midfield talent in the continent. So it tells you how much of a great talent he is. And Chelsea went ahead of the curve and got a deal for Kendrick Paye done. Whilst they got Kendrick Paye done, they've gone to Brazil to get a lot more deals done in terms of players. And it is how they want to spot the world's best talent, put them together and put them into a particular environment that will enhance their development into top level stars. Yes, people say you can't just lump some talents together and whatever. Yeah, I agree. But if they don't work, they are young, they have long-term contracts, you sell them and then get your money back. It's very, very important. And that's exactly what Chelsea are trying to do. The last time in my previous analysis, I was speaking of the likes of Osman Diomande, top centre back, young player. Chelsea, recently, you've heard reports consistently of how Thiago Silva is cutting thoughts of probably going back to Fluminense. And this morning, I've spoken to some Brazilian representatives who I met on social media, and they are telling me that news is catching a lot of fire in Brazil. And it looks as if Thiago Silva is going to go ahead and go to Fluminense. And that's it. Guys, I'm saying so much. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm grateful to have you here. If you've not subscribed to the channel, do what? Subscribe to the channel now. Turn on the notification button now. Turn it on now, yeah, while you're listening to me. And then do choose all. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'll be back with the juice. This player had been, his name has been going around. From a lot of tactical people that I know, when we scout players, we usually share the data. And I ask a lot of tacticals that, tell me the next player that you scouted. Who have you seen? And for Chelsea, a lot of the people, especially in the Scandinavian areas, were talking about the likes of this young player from Sweden called Rooney Bardghji. He's a brilliant 17-year-old midfielder, attacking midfielder, and that's CM in that regard. But for the very first time last night, I saw him against Manchester United, and he was brilliant. Bardghji was so brilliant. You see, sometimes when I watch midfielders, I look at a few things. Yes, these days, the technical aspect of the game is so important. Like, you want your midfielder to have pulsar. You want your midfielder to be one of the best players in terms of what he can do on the ball. But for me also, the game can never cease to be physical. The physicality, combativeness, and aggressive nature of the game is very important. And it's the reason why you go and play against teams that are big and bulky. And it is almost impossible for you to play against them because they are physical monsters. And physical monsters and specimens are difficult to play against. Now, I watched Rooney last night, and he is brilliant in terms of his physical contributions to the game. Where he picks the ball from, his aggression, his combativeness, the will to retain the ball. You know, the ball retention is very important for midfielders, and those are things that I look out personally. And yesterday, he was one of the best. His ball striking ability, his aggression, his close control, the retention of the ball, the physicality, the combativeness on the ball, the fact that he's fearless and want to go into tackles and win them, and the pressing, the consistent and incessant pressing of him. It's something that when I saw for a player like that, a player that's just 17 years of age, I marvel. But these days I don't marvel too much because that's exactly how the game has become. The game is one that these days players who are even seen to be younger tend to develop very fast, tend to learn the various parts of the game for a very long time, and then end up being good. So Chelsea hugely are scouting Rooney Bardghji, a 17-year-old midfielder who played for Copenhagen. A brilliant player. He's a Swiss. He's a Swedish guy. Intelligent player, and those are the attributes in there. Yes, he's a little bit short, but he's never filtered. He has a low center of gravity. He's a great player. If you ask me, Chelsea have a lot of midfield options now, so I don't see him walking into the Chelsea midfield anytime soon. But essentially, the reason why Todd Bowley and Baghdad Bali are trying to create a multi-club system, and in this multi-club system, some of the best talents across the world that they will pick up will go to these places, they will develop, and then they will come back to Chelsea proper, so that you don't waste 200 million, 100 million, 150 million, like Chelsea paid for Moise Caicedo, to go and buy them later from a Brighton, from a Tottenham Hotspur, or elsewhere in Europe. You want to get them yourself first, and that's the thing. It is the competitive nature of getting the best talent in the world that's making the market show up. It's not just one coach, one team saying that, oh, they want you to buy this player for X amount of money, or they want you to buy that player for A amount of money. No, it's not like that. These days, the best talent want to go to the best teams. And if I have the best talent, I'll sell it for top dollar, because I know that these teams do make a lot of money. So if you have a strategy, transfer strategy, that is to get the best talent in South America, in Africa. Look at what Simon Edingra, who was from the Right to Dream Academy, went through Northern, and now with Brighton and Hove Albion. They're going to sell him for big money. Kuro Mitoma. If you have a wonderful transfer strategy, you get them. And January is coming. January is coming. Last night I read from The Athletic where David Osteen and the likes are vehemently saying that Chelsea needs an A-lister striker. It may not even be Ivan Toney. I don't know if you describe Victor Osimhen as an A-lister striker. They need an A-lister striker. So in the midst of all the young players, in the midst of getting the best talent to come, you also need some experience. You also need somebody that is already a finished good and has the aura to walk into that dressing room and control things. And that's exactly what Chelsea are trying to get now, an A-lister striker in January. Now, I look off the top of my head and ask myself, who is an A-lister striker now on the market? Haaland, Harry Kane. Where is the A-lister striker? Where are you going to get them from? I've seen names of Victor Boniface from Leverkusen. I've seen the likes of Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is brilliant. Brilliant. I have never seen a striker. And you see, Victor Osimhen is one of those players, out of all of these strikers, he is the only one I have seen with my eye, personally, at the Barbara Stadium in Kumasi. So menacing, even when he walks. He has that aura. And if Chelsea are going to play with somebody like a Cole Palmer to come inverted as an inside 10, there are going to be games where you want to break down low blocks. And then you said, okay, you want somebody that can give you the retention in the tight areas in the box. It's important. The retention in there. Somebody who also has the calmness and composure in the box to retain the ball and slot it at the back of the net. Somebody who can offer you an outlet if you are being pressed high and you want to go long or over the press or whatnot. Somebody that can give you all of those things. Then you are looking at someone like Victor Osimhen, because he also goes in behind. Now, if you have Cole Palmer at the right-hand channel and he's coming inverted into the right half space in there, and you're having regimes running, overlapping him, and then you have someone like Raheem Sterling keeping the weight, or let's say also coming in inverted. I want an extra number 10 in those inverted roles. If you have an extra number 10, they say Kani Chukwuemeka, and you have Victor Osimhen consistently trying to get in behind. You put these balls on a platter of gold for him, and he picks it 9 out of 10 times. So when I hear things like world-class striker, the first thing that comes in my head is Victor Osimhen. Look at the situation with Rudy Garcia now at Napoli, where really, yes, there have been some reports of some injuries for Victor Osimhen, but then we know that the undertones of what is going on at Napoli is the fact that he has had issues with them. He has had big issues with them, with Aurelio De Laurentiis and of course Rudy Garcia. And the team, Napoli in itself, is suffering. Yes, Raspadori is a top player. Matteo Politano is excellent. You expect that these people can give you returns. But even Kavica Kvaratskhelia is not getting those numbers, those games that he used to get when he was combining with Victor Osimhen last season. That combination play was brilliant. If you have somebody like Victor Osimhen in your team, the combination play is excellent, and it helps to thrive and even makes these players even better. So on the left-hand side, if you have Raheem Sterling, the combination play is going to be excellent with him. for him to run off him, for Victor to set him and Victor to draw centre backs out of the space, for someone like Cole Palmer to run into, so for Reece James to make a long, late run into the box from the outside. These are the things that you get. And that's the reason why Chelsea say, okay, fine, now we have bought those players. We've bought a Kendrick Paez. We are looking at Rooney and Bardghji. We are looking at Ousmane Diomande to come and replace someone like Thiago Silva when he leaves. Jean-Claude Todibo is also on the market. These are all good players. Now, we need some level of experience. And Victor Osimhen has that. He gives you all of those things. I don't know what else any scout or analyst would want to look at. But then he's just that player. The height, the physicality, the aggression, the combativeness, the retention, ball striking ability, the press, his ability to lead the press from the front, hold up play, linking up play, bringing people into play. I mean, he is excellent. Dropping deep to come and receive and then laying off other players. He is the kind of player that you need in your attack. And that's why I'm looking at this team. So I'll not be shocked that instead of see the widespread reports about Ivan Toney, Chelsea rather going for somebody like a Victor Osimhen. Because, yeah, he's the kind of player that can give them exactly what they want. Now, I am also looking at the team's progress in the last few games, especially in the game against Tottenham Hotspur. If you followed my analysis, if you've not watched most of the analysis, I think if you are new to the channel, you should go back and watch the first analysis. Yes, it doesn't come with this beautiful background and better sound, but then it also had a brilliant analysis at the time, and it's just testament of our progress and where we've come from as it stands now, and the quest to give you the best in terms of viewing and analysis and whatnot. I won't stop skimming through the data and whatnot to just give you the best of analysis. Now, I think that Chelsea are improving. I think that Mauricio Pochettino has improved Chelsea, and the metrics are there for everybody to see. Improvement doesn't necessarily mean winning games. I mean, I know for every fan you would want to win games consistently, but essentially, when they talk about winning games, it's about what you are winning. What do you want to win? If you are progressing comparatively to where you were last season, then of course you are winning, but just not 3 points. So if you look at what Mauricio Pochettino has done to this Chelsea team, obviously the team is doing better. Obviously the team is pressing better. The distance covered per teams in the English Premier League, he's in the top 5. The XGs are green. Teams that have considered less chances. Defensively, there's that solidity in there. I have thought that going forward, Chelsea would have to find a permanent replacement for not just Thiago Silva, but Wesley Fofana, because he seems to be getting injury issues left, right, center. And there's a need for another right-footed centre back in there for Chelsea. So it's these are the things. Now, I think that the next level of Chelsea's development and success this season is going to be the return. No, it's going to be the consistency of Reece James. Now, if you're a Chelsea fan, you probably watched him against Tottenham Hotspur. Oh boy, there is so much aura and calmness when he's on the ball. He just doesn't believe anybody can rob him of the ball. Receives the ball under a lot of retention, keeps the ball, turns it on, finds passes. The defensive positioning is also brilliant. Holding up play in those areas. And there was this pass he kicked with his outside foot to the wide area. It was brilliant. I think that Chelsea's next level development, at least for the next 3 months in the season, if Chelsea are able to get Reece James to be fit, it changes a lot. It changes a lot. He is one of those last few players in the team that are embodiment of the real Chelsea. A lot of fans talk about that they don't see now. So it's so important. Very important that Mauricio Pochettino and Jesus are able to keep him strong. And I was excited when he came off after the Tottenham game and he went straight to Jesus. And Jesus asked him about his physical condition. He said he was fine. And that was good. It's important to have him on. Now, Nkunku is returning. How Chelsea manage the return of Nkunku, Benoit Badiashile, and then Reece James is so important. It is going to have an effect, whether positive or negative, on Chelsea's future. So you look at him like that. You look at somebody like Benoit Badiashile, who is a notch higher in terms of ball progression. I would love to see the 2 left-footed centre-backs in the team. I've consistently said this, and it's tactically possible. You just have to find between them who is more comfortable playing on the right-hand side. Nkunku, I hear, is not going to be rushed. He has upped the tempo for his return. It should be this month. But then Chelsea wants to see him play in December or maybe in January, not to force him in. when Romeo Lavia joins his team and he becomes that, and Chelsea can automatically go and play in a 4-3-3. That is next level stuff. So yes, I think that Chelsea's transfer strategy is brilliant, but it is even the development of the squad now that makes me excited when I analyze Chelsea games. So that is it. It is stuff that Chelsea fans want to see, and I think that it is coming small, and you're going to get it. So, guys, that's what time will allow me. I have to take leave of you. I'm grateful. I'm forever grateful for you sparing me on, and then pushing me in the critiques and everything. I'm grateful. Thank you very much for choosing me on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I will see you. Till then, please do take care of yourself. Bye.